the Panorama North League game against Brackley Town. We're delighted to welcome our manager Andy Morrell across to the sponsors lounge to give us a pre-match chat, and also a very big welcome to our match day sponsor, Mr. Andrew Turland over there. So thank you very much, Andrew, and we do thank you for your sponsorship today. And your mates are just coming through. Oh, great, Andy, it's great to welcome you. I think we might have a slightly different Tamworth lineup today, having seen all the action in the press this week. So let's see what the lineup is.
Okay, afternoon everybody. A few more grey hairs than I had this time yesterday, I have to say. But okay, the team for today is we've got in goal Jack Stevens. We've brought him for a month from Oxford. A back four. We're going back to a back four because I've got no fit centre halves. So we've got Andy Burns at right back, Joel Kettle and Luke Jones centre halves, Steph Morley at left back. Two centre midfielders will be Armin Verma and new signing Tom Shaw, who we brought in from Chester. Midfielders, wide midfielders, we've got Zach Coppercroft on the right, Cal Powell on the left, and then up front as a two we've got Connor Taylor and Dan Turner, who's a new signing from Port Vale. Subs are Brad Reed, Sam Coulson, Darryl Knights, Dexter Walters and Theo Wharton.
Fantastic, thank you very much. We'll sort of explore that as we go through the interview. But when we last spoke, which was amazingly New Year's Day, you were looking for a reaction, which we got. We beat Nuneaton, but you actually said there were going to be some changes, and obviously we've seen the start of those changes today. But let's talk about Ellis going first of all, because you announced on that day that he was on the transfer list, so now he's gone to Telford. How's that going to change things with the squad, with quite an influential player leaving the team?
Yeah, he's been fantastic for us over 2.5 years, but we felt that it had run its course, so it was time for a change. And we agreed a deal with a couple of clubs, but Telford was the one that he wanted to go to. So we did that, left a big hole in our midfield, I felt, and so we had to go and find somebody to replace him. And a chance conversation enabled us to get Tom out of Chester, which was very, very pleasing to say the least.
Tom Shaw, a player well known here, and brought a lot of smiles judging by the action on social media yesterday. He was a player that was very well respected, and we know he's gone on to do great things with Cambridge and Kiddie and Chester and Alfreton as well. But so how did the signing come about? Because it's a signing that really puts a mark on the team, because he's a leader, isn't he?
Absolutely, and I felt that's what we need. A little bit more experience and character, and he'll certainly bring us that. It was basically, I'd asked about him a couple of times earlier in the season, but nothing was happening, and a few changes at Chester and circumstances. He lives in Nottingham, and his contract's up in the summer there, so I said, well, I'd take him for a year on top. I'd take him next year as well if he was going to come to us. Is there a deal we could be done? And they spoke to him, and he was interested. We got him down here and had a chat, and very, very positive, really positive chat with him, and it was done within a day, and absolutely made up. He's took a hit a little bit financially, but he just was desperate to come here, which is a fantastic thing, which is what you want from players. You want them to want to come and play here, and I'm made up with going through the door.
Fantastic. So obviously, you know, he training Thursday night, I presume?
Came trained, yeah, and was great.
Great, fantastic. And Dan Turner as well from Port Vale. Tell us a little bit about him and what you expect to see from him.
Yeah, he's a bit more of a gamble. We need a striker, we need a few goals. So we've just brought Dan in for a month to see. Very highly respected there. Young, quick, box player, got a goal in him. And he comes with, he scored a couple of goals in League Two already this season, at the start of the season with the old manager. Wasn't getting much of a look in, so took him for a month, and hopefully he'll score a few goals for us. But he's quick, he's lively, puts himself about. He's not the biggest, but he puts himself about. So no, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got for us.
And what do you say to fans who think you were why loan players, not something permanent in that position?
Because what's available at the moment, you know, it's as simple as that. If you're going to bring in an experienced number 9, then you've got to pay a lot of money for it. Yeah. There are out there, and we're still looking. We still want a bit more of a physical presence up top if you can get one. But you need to bring in what's available and what your budgets can allow. So we brought him in for a month, and we'll see how we go.
Great. And Jack Stevens, we saw a little bit of him at the start of the season, in pre-season. In fact, I think he played a couple of games, but he went back to Oxford and we brought in Sean from Shrewsbury instead. But now he's back. He's had quite a lot of rave reviews for his times with Oxford City, I understand.
Yeah, it was a bit of a toss-up between Sean and Jack at the time. We went with Sean, he lived a little bit closer, and he'd played 30-odd games in the league that we're going to be playing in, so that just ticked a few boxes for us over Jack. Jack went back out to Oxford City and did really, really well. Rave reviews, player of the week numerous times, and yeah, I didn't need the phone call on Friday morning to say Dan had hurt his ankle. Obviously, he hurt it in training on Thursday, but he said he'd be fine, and then he's woken up and it's a bit swollen and sore, so yeah, we were phoning around all morning, all afternoon, waiting to try and get something done, and thankfully Oxford have let us have him, Jack, for a month, and he'll be great for us, fingers crossed.
That's good, because there was chat about Ty Belford, wasn't there, a couple of weeks ago. Nothing gets continued on that then front then?
No, we invited him in to train. I've never seen him play, so I would like to have had a look at him and see what he was like around our boys, but he declined that offer and said that if we were going to do something, he just wanted to do it straight away. I didn't really want to take that risk, and so he's been in another couple of clubs and we've left that one alone now.
Okay, so in terms of the injuries, you know, you talk about sort of not having many centre-backs.
I've only got...
you obviously let Louis go. Do you wish you hadn't with what happened on Tuesday night with Drew going out injured?
You can't keep people, you know, I thought Drew would be fine. But yeah, you can't legislate for Jack and Sam, but Sam's back on the bench tonight. He trained on Thursday and looked really comfortable with it. Just think it's probably a training session too soon for him to go straight back in it, but he was in our thoughts to play today. But yeah, Louis, we felt, had to do the deal when he got a chance. Drew was doing great, it was fine, so that's just football for you. That's the way it's going at the moment, I suppose.
And interestingly, we've sort of seen in the press the name of a forgotten man over the last few weeks. Remember Jed Davies?
Oh, yeah.
What's happening with Jed?
No, Jed's back training. He's ended up giving up his job because it was causing his ankle problems that he's had since he went to Hensford on loan.
Yeah.
He's a roofer, and he was roofing, and it being on that angle with his ankle was causing he wasn't getting any better, so he's ditched that. He feels great, he's had a couple of injections in it, he's done some running today, and he'll be back in training on Tuesday, and clean slate for him to come back and have a go.
That's great, it's great to see him back around the place. Well, we've got a tough period coming up. You know, Brackley start today, they're a strong side, a lot of money going into their squad. What sort of game are you expecting today?
Yeah, tough. Exactly that. They've got experience right the way throughout their side. Two very good strikers on the bench that can't get in the team. Three midfielders that are very, very experienced in this league and have won the title with Solihull, you know, and so it's going to be really tough. But we have to show exactly the same as we showed against the league here, which is an intent about the way we want to go and play. We have Cal and Zach and Connor and Dan who have all got a lot of pace about them. So we're going to try and cause them problems, break on them, counter on them at pace, try and get those four attacking the three of their centre halves, and just go and take the game to them. But we've got to be physical with it, we've got to look after ourselves. They're good at set pieces, we're going to have to be on our toes with those. But we have nothing to lose today, so we can go and fire at them, go and dig into them, and go and try and cause a bit of a stir amongst them and really get up and let's win a second game on the try at home.
Fantastic. Well, Andy, we wish you all the best for 3 points at 4:45.
Yeah.
Cheers.